Hello, it's Maureen Legas here with your 21 Days 2017 series, and today is the bonus day, day 22. Today we're going to talk about a topic that is not really tech based, but I thought it'd be interesting last segment for the year. I'm going to talk about some books that have been recommended by agents and friends, and then some that I've read. So we're going to break it into four categories: business books, books on growth, inspirational books, and books just for fun. So let's get started. So the first category, business books, I'm going to start with The Power of Habit. And this is not a book I read. It was one that someone I know has read and recommended. I'm going to pull up all the books on Amazon so we can get a little information about them. So The Power of Habit, it says down here, let me get to the page. If you go down to the bottom to the review section, you can read about this book. It gets very good reviews. And then you can see if it's something that you would like to read. But it talks about habits and how they kind of drive us, and how we can stick with the habits that are good, or maybe change the habits that we've developed that might not be in our best interest, the best to follow. So again, that book is called, where are we? The Power of Habit. All right, the second book. This one was also recommended, called Sales Velocity. So with each of these books, you want to go down to look at the reviews, read about it, see if it would fit something that you would be interested in learning. But Sales Velocity, that's our second book that was recommended to me for the business section. The third business book is Jab, 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 Right Hook: How to Tell Your Story in a Noisy Social World. So it talks about social media, crushing it with using social media and marketing. This book I haven't read yet. It's on order, so I should be getting that. That would be a good book to check out. Now the fourth book. This is called Perk Your Sphere. It's written by a Keller Williams agent, Liz Johnson, and very interesting book. Great techniques and ideas to use in your business. Again, read the reviews and information about it, but Perk Your Sphere is a book worthy of checking out and adding to your list this year. Now the fifth book. This one is also written by a KW agent, Rowena Patton, Finding Your Unique Value Proposition. It's a great book, step-by-step guide to find out what makes you different when you're going to speak to your clients, so they can understand how you working for them as a realtor is the best option for them. I purchased this book. I've read this book. It's a great tool, and it's step-by-step, very easy to follow. So that list is our 5 business books. So now let's look at growth books. So the first growth book I could suggest you check is Present Over Perfect. And it's essentially what it says: how to be present in your life, in your business, in your personal life, and not necessarily perfect. And it helps you recognize some of the things that are causing you stress, and how to leave them and be more present and participate in your life. So that's a book absolutely worth checking out. So this is the first book in our growth section. The second growth recommendation is Daring Greatly, and anything that Brené Brown has written is worth reading. So this is a great book. She is a terrific author, and very much worth taking the time to read through it. That would be number 2 in the growth section. Let's move to number 3. All right, the third book, Building the Bridge as You Walk on It, A Guide for Leading Change. And this is not a book I've read yet. It's on order, but it's personal stories from people who have developed new leadership techniques and models. So this is a good growth book for 2018. So look into this one as well. All right, book number 4. So in the growth section, book number 4 is Quiet, the Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking. And this is an interesting book. If you look here, it's gotten 5,200, almost 5,300 reviews. It's a book that discusses introverts and how to best manage your world if you are an introvert when the world is very noisy and stressful. Introverts like Dr. Seuss, Steve Wozniak, Rosa Parks, these are introverts, and it talks about how you can change or turn off the noise so that you can manage the world that's kind of crazy around you. I've ordered this book. I'm looking forward to reading it in 2018. All right, and the fifth book is a little bit different. Let me pull that one up. This one is a growth book, but more for couples. So I got this in 2015, and it's kind of like an exercise book. There's actually a workbook that goes with it. I'll pull that up in a minute. But this is a book for couples to figure out if there's any communication issues or to strengthen the communication. And it's a 12 or 14-week series of steps that you take in order to help you understand each other better so that you create a stronger relationship. So this was a great book. Let me pull up the workbook. So they show two workbooks, Getting Love You Want, which matches the title of that first book, and Receiving Love. Now, Getting the Love You Want was the original workbook, and they've changed it. And so they've changed the exercises to match the new version of the book I just showed you, which is Getting the Love You Want. The workbook that goes with the Getting the Love You Want book is called Receiving Love. The exercises match the other book. So this would be the proper workbook to get if you wanted to do that series. And if you do, I would get one book for each partner and one workbook for each partner because you're doing the work separately. All right, so those are the 5 books in our growth section. Now let's move on to inspiration. The first book that I could recommend in the inspiration section is The Last Lecture. This was written by Randy Pausch. He was a professor at Carnegie Mellon, and at Carnegie Mellon University every year the professors are encouraged to give their last lecture, which is I guess information on what they would want to tell if this was truly their last lecture. Randy was sick, and it really was his last lecture, and he initially wrote this for his children, for his family, and it went crazy. So it is absolutely a must read or must listen to. You can find the actual audio and video from his lecture if you search for that. But The Last Lecture would be the top of the inspirational list for me. Another very inspirational book, number 2, would be A Joy-Filled Life. It was written by Mo Anderson with Keller Williams. She wrote it, let's see, she took her role, I guess it says here, in 2005 as vice chairman. She is a very inspirational speaker and has a lot of information in this book that would inspire anyone who reads it. So I would suggest putting this on your 2018 reading list. All right, number 3 on the inspirational reading list, Man's Search for Meaning. This is on my reading list for 2018. It was recommended. Also has almost 4,000 reviews, positive reviews for this book. Check out the reviews, and see if this is something that you want to add to your 2018 reading list. Man's Search for Meaning. Okay, the 4th book on the inspirational list is The Art of Racing in the Rain. This is a funny book. It's an uplifting story. It's a look at family, love, loyalty, hope. It's just a look at life from the eyes of a dog. Very good book. I would put this on my 2018 reading list. And book number 5 on the inspirational reading list, Maya Angelou, Letter to My Daughter. Maya didn't have a daughter, but she wrote this book if she did have a daughter. She wrote this book to all of the women that she knew and loved in her life that were like daughters to her, and gave them information and inspiration on what she felt she would leave her daughter had she had one. It's a great book for 2018. All right, so let's move to the fun list, wrap this up, and then get prepared for our 2018 year. So the first book on the fun list. This was also recommended to me. I haven't read it yet. It'll be one of the reads for 2018. Make Your Bed, Little Things That Can Change Your Life. This looks like a great book. Add it to your list for next year, and I think that it's something that you'll enjoy. The second book on the fun list, A Year in Provence. Any of these Peter Mayle books are great. They're comical. They're nonfiction, but they kind of have a little bit of twist to make them interesting. They're travel books, and he's a great writer. So this would be a fun read for you. Any of his books would be great for 2018. Okay, book number 3 on the fun list, The Secret Life of Bees. Sue Monk Kidd, one of my favorite authors. This is a book about a young girl's transformation and healing through the power of love. It's a great book. It was a great movie. If you've seen the movie, read the book too. Look how many reviews this gets, positive reviews. Really well worth reading for a fun book on your list. Okay, book number 4, All I Really Need to Know I Learned in Kindergarten. Robert Fulghum, another great funny author, really interesting books. Any of his books are going to keep you laughing through the book. So if you need a little break from your business books, pick something that Robert Fulghum has written. They're great books. And the last book on the fun list, Until Tuesday. This is a good story about a soldier returning from service and his relationship with his beautiful dog. Really terrific book. It might not have you laughing, it might have you crying, but it's really well worth the read. So that's it. Those are the picks in those 4 categories for 2018. If you have books that are not on the list, post them below, and we can all benefit from seeing other suggestions that people have for books in 2018. Hope you have a great rest of the year, and best of luck for the next business year starting January 2018.